sweetness, honey. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today I present the Balvenie 12 years old Double Wood, and this one is a classic, a real classic. And you hear two terms or two sorts of pronunciation of the word Balvenie, and there's the Balvenie and the Balvenie, and even at the distillery you hear both pronunciations. There had been a predecessor of this bottle, and it was called the Founder's Reserve. It has a cognac-shaped bottle and was filled since the 80s, probably the 90s, no, the 80s. And then this Founder's Reserve received this typically shaped bottle, and the Founder's Reserve was a mixture between ex-bourbon casks and sherry casks. So both whiskies, or the whiskey was matured in two different casks for a whole 10 years and then put together to build this Founder's Reserve. The Balvenie 12 years old was a successor. There had been a few years around 1995, 1997, lately 2000, where both bottles were on the market in parallel, but then the Founder's Reserve went the way all the earth and things. Yes. So Balvenie, 12 years old, is now a finished whiskey, and I'm not quite sure if this one was the first or one of the first whiskies which, well, showed the finishing. And here on this Double Wood tube, cardbox tube, there are two casks. One is a whiskey oak. Ooh, what does that mean? Well, that's a ex-bourbon cask used several times, and this is always called classic cask, whiskey cask, oak cask. Many years of maturation exclusively in traditional whiskey oak cask mellows the maturing spirit and imparts gentle warming layers of vanilla spiciness. And the second one is sherry oak, and if you look in detail on these two pictures, then you can see that the relation between length and diameter of those casks is different between ex-bourbon and sherry cask. The sherry casks are longer, a little bit the shape of pipes, and with the port pipes it's even more the pipe form. But this is sherry. Second cast sherry oak, a further few month maturation in European oak sherry casks increases complexity, bringing fruity and honey depth to the resulting single malt. Here you receive the European oak character, which is stronger and more intense, and you receive the fruitiness of the grapes of the sherry, of course, and some color, but I'm afraid this one is colored, artificially colored to flatten the different outcomings of the casks. Characterized by rich honey sweetness and delicate layer of sherry. Yeah. Balvenie is the sister distillery to Glenfiddich, but Glenfiddich has a very lot of small stills, which gives a completely different distillery character than the Balvenie. The Balvenie has bigger, taller stills, and Balvenie also owns own maltings, where they produce, well, part of the malt they use by themselves, so they have the chance to have toasted malt and what you always have seen in different bottlings of Balvenie, and there had been a lot of different bottlings. The newer, the better, the more complex, and the more expensive. So this Balvenie has 43% ABV in the small bottle and 40% in the big one. So take care what you're finding on the market. I think there had been also liter bottles in the travel value or duty free. Yes. So this Balvenie is this smaller distillery in the possession of William Grant and Sons, which owns Glenfiddich as well as Balvenie and Kinninvie and Elsa Bay in the lowlands. How to open this one? Here we go. The price had been quite low over the last decades, but the price rose steeply in the last 2 years, from 2013 to 2015. The prices went up, I think, 15%. And today we see a price of about 40 euros, pounds or dollars. And in former times it was well below 30. Yeah. So demand is high for this one. In the beginning there's orange, juice orange. These sweet citrus fruit, which characterizes the distillery character of Balvenie. Most, if not all, Balvenies have this orange taste, and then there's the sweetness behind, and the sweetness going over to honey. And this honeyed sweetness is very, very typical for this Balvenie 12 years old. And therefore, because it's so wonderful, orange juice, sherry, sweetness, honey, therefore people like it a lot. And Balvenie is one of the single malts which was able to penetrate the market extremely without having any ads in magazines or where else. So Balvenie was always a tale from friend to friend. I like this one very, very much. And then some vanilla is coming up, which comes from the American oak casks. And the fresher those casks are, the more vanilla they bring into the whiskey. Yeah. And now there is strong, full impact, oakiness, spiciness. And this orange going over to dark chocolate, and sweetness still there, and well, there's no dryness in the aftertaste that your tongue might stick at the roof of your mouth. No, it's still sweet, and there is this European oak bitterness combining with this orange juice, vanilla and honey, and giving this full aromatic. And now the smell, vanilla, orange, honey, going over to a little cinnamon, some nuts coming up, deep, full. And the chocolate, the dark chocolate, is fading away to the spiciness of the oak. And the sherry casks in nowadays are most often American white oak today. So this light dark chocolate influence from the European oak, the tannins from the casks, are not present in a lot of sherry cask matured whiskies already, but this one shows them. But they are not too strong because the whiskey just finished in those European oak casks. A wonderful thing, yeah. This is a whiskey as it should be. Full, complex, sweet, spicy, orange, honey, chocolate, everything you like as sweets or as fruits in the evening. Yeah. So thank you for watching. There's more to come. Stay tuned. And if you would like to discuss this video with me, particularly this whiskey with me, please do so in our vlog on Whisky.com.